Oil runs the world. Building machinery and burning fuel has led to us becoming this advanced society that we are today. And although this has its benefits, it has its obvious huge downfalls too. Oil and natural gas actually tie for first place for the leading way to generate electricity in America. This causes tremendous amounts of pollution and pain to the environment. The good news is that we have the money and the capabilities, like the technology, to start transitioning from traditional fuel sources like fossil fuels to green, eco-friendly sources. Despite this capability, it is impossible to say that the USA has made much effort to transition into eco-friendly. In fact, instead of all the things we could be investing in to further the development of clean energy, we're mainly investing in things that are going in the complete opposite direction and could hurt U.S. soil worse than ever. The U.S. has been and wants to continue doing hydraulic fracturing, also known as fracking. Fracking is drilling into the ground and using pressure to shoot a mixture of chemicals, water, and sand into the earth to break everything apart, releasing trapped oil and fossil fuels. This process puts the environment at extreme risk. It's not worth it. It shouldn't be happening anywhere, but it's now happening so abundantly on U.S. soil, and there are so many plans for more and more of these wells to be built. This could affect anyone. Entire cities or even states at a time could be affected. Fracking can pollute public drinking water, rivers, lakes, land, etc. The toxic waste is also indisposable. It's really kind of unbelievable. This topic really concerns me. When I heard about it, I needed to get to the bottom of it, so I used many academic sources to formulate my opinion. Like anything, there are two sides to this argument. And I definitely think that my extensive research and my weighing of the pros and cons, I have a pretty good opinion on the situation. The cons definitely outweigh the pros when it comes to fracking. Oil independence is not what we should be striving for, but instead complete energy independence, not needing anything that is renewable. Wind, sun, things like that, that's what we need, not oil, not coal. The first huge thing wrong with hydraulic fracturing is the amount of water that is used. Each well uses on average 2.4 million gallons of water, according to R. Jackson. And according to G. McGlynn, 85% of that 2.4 million gallons of water mixed with chemicals and sand stays in the ground where it was sprayed. There isn't enough long-term studies since this is kind of recent, but it's easy to say that shoving chemicals underground to move around freely is a bad idea. And the other 15% of that leftover 2.4 million gallons of toxic waste is extracted and it is captured to sit in barrels, reservoirs, or other containers until somebody can figure out what the heck to do with it. The water is untreatable, and as of right now, there is nothing to do with it except just sit it somewhere. Besides the chemicals used in fracking, some pollutants come from just the fracturing of the earth itself. Jay Adams says methane releases from the cracks made and escapes into water sources underground. According to the USDA, 20% of the USA's drinking water is collected from underground reservoirs, which will be affected by fracking anywhere. Groundwater being polluted puts so many people at risk to not having access to clean drinking water. That is something that's just not worth even risking, ever. Many people view hydraulic fracturing as a short-term solution to the problem we are facing of oil dependence in foreign countries. While I agree we do need to get out of these countries and stop polluting their lands, we also should not start doing more polluting here on our land. Energy independence right this second isn't worth hurting our drinking water and our other natural water sources. Instead of investing in something horribly painful to the environment, we should be investing in the pursuit of clean, renewable energy. And I firmly believe that we can move forward. We can change the energy game. We really can. Hydraulic fracturing, also known as fracking, is a potentially devastating thing to do. We're doing it every day in the US, and plans are being made to make more and more fracking wells as you listen to this speech. It's really crazy how many they want to do. And although oil independence would benefit the economy and would be fair for other countries because we would not be hurting their land but we would be hurting our own, it is still not the answer. Fracking could cause millions of people to lose access to clean water. We need to work forwards towards long-term solutions, not a short-term solution that will tear apart our world. Things that will not hurt the environment the way we are hurting it now. I use many academic sources and studies, both sides of the argument, to formulate my opinion on this speech. I am confident that hydraulic fracturing is something that must end now. Having clean water is important to everyone. Every single person on the planet deserves access to clean water. It's a right. It is time to transition to clean energy. It might not happen overnight. It might not happen anytime soon. But it will happen if we work for it. If we start working towards it, we just need to do it. We need to progress. So thank you so much for listening to my speech. I will be displaying my sources here